Now let's learn motif 4. We will start from foundation chain. Then crochet along the foundation chain. It is divided into the bird and the bottom piece. The bird is further divided into the body, tail, mouth, eyes and claws. There are quite a few new stitches used. All of them are marked on the chart. I won't list all of them here. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with a foundation chain. Begin by making a slip knot. Then crochet 6 chains. The starting chain is now complete. Move on to the first round. Chain 1 to begin. In the second to last chain, pick up the back loop and make 1 single crochet. Continue by picking up the half loop and working 1 half double crochet. Work 1 double crochet. Work 1 double crochet increase, that is, work 2 double crochets in the same stitch. The double crochet increase is now complete. Continue with another double crochet increase. On this last chain, work 5 double crochets. After completing, you'll reach the other side of the starting point. Insert your hook into the corresponding entry position of the previous stitches. Correspondingly make 3 double crochets. Be mindful not to crochet into the chain on the far right. Work 1 half double crochet. In this last insertion position, work 2 single crochets. Finish with a slip stitch. Don't pull the slip stitch too tight. The first round is complete. We will consider the clearer texture side as the right side of the piece. Move on to the second row. Start with 1 chain. Then on the left side of the half double crochet stitch, pick up the front loop and work 1 half double crochet. That is, the strand of yarn closest to you. Work 1 double crochet in the same position. Work 1 slip stitch. Slightly tighten. Continue with another group, that is, 1 chain. On the front loop of the left side, work 1 half double crochet. Work 1 double crochet. And 1 slip stitch. The second group is completed. Continue with 2 more groups. After completing, slip stitch on the front loop of the left side. 1 chain. Work 1 half double crochet on the next front loop. And 2 double crochets. slip stitch on the left side. 1 chain. Work 1 half double crochet in the next position. And 2 double crochets. Work 1 single crochet on the front loop of the left side. Cut the yarn. The second row is completed. Now work on the third row below, at the second to last insertion position of the previous row, on the corresponding back loop behind. Join the yarn. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet on the remaining half loop on the left. Then work 1 single crochet into the last single crochet of the previous row. Pick up the stitch and work 1 single crochet. Move down to the remaining stitches of the first round. And correspondingly work 1 single crochet. Work 1 half double crochet. Then work 1 DC 3-in-1, that is, work 3 double crochets in the same position. The DC 3-in-1 is now completed. Continue with 2 double crochets. Then work 2 half double crochets. Work 1 single crochet. Then on the slip stitch of the first round, pick up the chain and work 1 single crochet. Next, at the back, pick up the back loop of the first single crochet from the first round. Which is the strand of yarn closer to the back. And work 1 single crochet. If you're unsure about the position, you can take a look at the second row. The first insertion position is where you work the half double crochet and double crochet. Specifically the back loop that corresponds to the back. The yarn on the right side. Which is the back loop of the first stitch. Work 1 single crochet into it. On the back loop found on the left side just now. Work 1 slip stitch. The oval-shaped slip stitch does not need tightening. Cut the yarn. The third row is completed. Continue with the fourth row. Join the yarn at the joining position of the third row. Crochet 1 chain. Insert into the chain from the start of the previous row. Pick up 2 strands and work 1 slip stitch. Then correspondingly make 2 single crochets. 1 half double crochet, 1 double crochet, work 1 double crochet on the next stitch, and 1 treble crochet, yarn over twice. Insert the hook, draw the yarn through, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. The treble crochet is complete. Work 1 Pt2 and 1 on the next stitch. That is, work 2 treble crochets in the same position. Start with the first one, yarn over twice, insert the hook, draw the yarn through, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. The treble crochet is complete. Work another treble crochet in the same position. The Tr2 in 1 is now completed. Continue to work 2 more Tr2 in 1 correspondingly. Work 1 treble crochet and 1 double crochet on the next stitch. Continue with 2 double crochets. Work 2 half double crochets. Work 1 single crochet. On the slip stitch from the previous row, pick up the chain and work 1 slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Row 4 is now completed. The bird's body is also finished. Now let's move on to round 5, which is the base piece position. Find the first treble crochet increase from the previous row. Join the yarn in the back loop, on the left side of this stitch. For this round, work into the corresponding back loops only. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. Work 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Work 1 chain. Skip 2 stitches on the left side. Work 1 HDC3 and 1 into the corresponding back loop. This means working 3 half double crochets into the same position. The half double crochet 3 in 1 is now completed. Continue with 1 chain. Skip 2 stitches. Work 1 double crochet 3 in 1. We will treat the stitches we've already worked as one side of this round. Next, work 2 chains for the corner. This counts as the corner. Continue to the next side. Work 1 double crochet 3 in 1 into the same insertion point as before. Work 1 chain. Work 1 half double crochet 3 in 1, separated by skipping 2 stitches. Work 1 chain. Now find the third row below. Locate the last slip stitch insertion point. Pick up the back loop and work 1 double crochet 3 in 1. The second side is now complete. Continue with one corner. Move to the third side. Start by working 1 double crochet 3 in 1 in the same insertion point. Work 1 chain. Increase with 1 double crochet in the second stitch of the first round. On the right side, double crochet. Locate its corresponding back loop. And work 1/2 double crochet 3 in 1. Work 1 chain. Then find the slip stitch where the fourth row begins. Pick up the strand above the braid, and work 1 double crochet 3 in 1. Work 1 more corner. In the same position, work another double crochet 3 in 1. Work 1 chain. Skip 3 stitches. Pick the back loop and work 1/2 double crochet 3 in 1. Work 1 chain. Skip 3 stitches. At the joining position, work 1 double crochet 3 in 1. For the last corner, work 1 chain. Then work 1 single crochet into the beginning chain to connect. The 5th round is completed. Now start the 6th round. Begin with 3 chains as the turning chain. In the same space, work 2 double crochets. Then refer to the chart and work double crochets and chains. Finish this round. Finally, join with a slip stitch, and fasten off the yarn. The 6th round is completed. For the remaining rounds, follow the pattern chart for joining the yarn and crocheting in rounds. Pay attention to the stitch techniques and insertion positions so you don't make any mistakes. Everyone, complete it by yourself. That concludes the explanation of crocheting Motif 4's bottom piece. Next, crochet the tail. Locate the half double crochet from the beginning of the second row on the body. Attach the yarn in this stitch. Then work 11 chains. On the 6th chain from the end, pick up the back loop and work 1 treble crochet. Work 1 treble crochet in the next stitch. And work 1 double crochet in the following stitch. Continue to correspondingly make 1 double crochet. Work 1 double crochet increase. Work 2 half double crochets. Then slip stitch on the double crochet stitch to the left of the joining position. Then slip stitch again at the joining position. Here you can rotate the piece a little. Next, on the 4th row, slip stitch again into the braid of the ending slip stitch. Below, on the other side of the starting chain, insert the hook into this corresponding position, and work the matching stitch. Weave in the yarn tail from the joining spot together. After completing the last treble crochet, work 5 chains. Slip stitch underneath in the same position. Leave a 1/5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Thread the yarn tail into a sewing needle. Lay the tail flat in position. Adjust the angle according to your preference. Try not to press on the edge stitches to avoid affecting the seam. Secure it roughly along the edge. Sew using the wrong side thread. Tie off and weave in the ends neatly at the end. That's how you finish the tail. Now we will crochet the mouth. Start with 3 chains. Return and begin from the second to last stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Slightly tighten 1 single crochet stitch. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Place the right side with clear texture facing up. Position the yarn tail at the edge of the second row. Use the reserved yarn to sew and secure in place. The specific angle of the mouth can be adjusted according to your preference. Tuck the starting yarn tail to the wrong side. Tie a knot. Weave in the yarn tails. That's it for the mouth. Finally, secure the eyes. Embroider the claws. Take out the yarn used for crocheting the mouth. Thread 2 strands into the needle. Embroider 2 claws on the bottom of the body. You can refer to the finished product for the exact position and shape, or you can decide based on your preference. Weave in the yarn tails on the wrong side. That's it for embroidering the claws. Next, secure the eyes. Take out a darker color yarn from the current motif. Thread 1 strand into a thin needle, fold it in half and tie a knot at the end of the thread. You can also choose the color according to your preference. On the middle 1 DC of these 5 DC in the first round of the body. Secure the eyes. After completing, tie a knot and weave in the ends. That completes the eyes and claws. That concludes motif 4. Next, let's learn motif 5. Start with the magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The technique is identical to motif 1. Only some positions in the last 2 rounds are missing. The new stitch used here is DC2 tog. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. The first 3 rounds of motif 5 are similar to the corresponding rounds of motif 1. At the end of round 3, join with a slip stitch. Everyone, go ahead and complete it. Then cut the yarn. Next, I'll demonstrate row 4. using a sample swatch. Refer to the chart. In round 3, join the yarn in this chain space. Crochet 1 chain. Then, follow the pattern and crochet the corresponding stitch techniques. After completing the last double crochet in the current space and the left chain space, work 1 double crochet decrease. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets. The edge stitch can be worked slightly looser. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. That completes the double crochet decrease. Fasten off the yarn. Row 4 is complete. Continue with row 5. Join the yarn at the second half double crochet stitch of the previous row. Attach the yarn to the half double crochet stitch. Then, work 2 slip stitches moving to the left. Continue crocheting while referring to the pattern chart. As you crochet, weave in the yarn tails together. At the end, work 1 double crochet decrease. Fasten off the yarn. Row 5 is completed. All yarn tails should be woven in on the wrong side. That concludes the explanation for motif 5. Next, let's learn motif 6. Use the magic ring technique to start. Crochet from right to left. The basic crochet method is similar to motif 2. For each row, join the yarn at the corresponding position on the right side. At the end, fasten off the yarn. Weave in all ends on the wrong side. You can follow the chart to crochet. For the 4th row, join the yarn in a gap like this. When joining yarn at the beginning chain, insert your hook under the top 2 loops of the chain. Pay attention to the insertion point for edge stitches, don't crochet them incorrectly. That concludes the explanation for motif 6. Next, let's move on to motif 7. Use the magic ring technique to start. Crochet from right to left. Like motif 5, it is also a partial section taken from motif 1. Join a new yarn at the beginning of each row. Fasten off the yarn at the end. Pay attention to the 3rd row. Join the yarn at the double crochet stitch, where the previous row started. Join the yarn there. For the 4th row, join the yarn at the beginning chain. That means counting from the bottom up, join the yarn at the 3rd chain. You can also directly insert your hook into the chain space to join and crochet. As long as the edges are neatly connected and look nice, it's fine. Refer to the pattern to complete it. For the following motif 8, and motif 13. They are similar to motif 7. Mind the insertion points at the beginning and end. Refer to the chart. Let's take a look at motif 9. And motif 16. They are the same as motif 6, which is a part taken from motif 2. The first 4 rounds of motif 9 are identical to the corresponding position of motif 2. At the end of the 5th round, you need to change the stitch technique to form a diagonal edge. The specific insertion points can be referenced from the diagram. For the last row, join the yarn at the corresponding position. After completing the last stitch with a slip stitch, fasten off the yarn. At the end of the 3rd row of motif 16, you will encounter a new stitch technique. It involves clustering double crochet and half double crochet stitches together. Please watch as I demonstrate the exact crocheting method. Here, I'll use a sample swatch for the demonstration. Start by working 1 incomplete double crochet into the chain space. Then, work 1 incomplete half double crochet into the edge stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook, draw the yarn through. The incomplete half double crochet is now complete. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook. The cluster of double crochet and half double crochet stitches is now complete. Starting from the 4th row, join the yarn at the 2nd row. Attach the yarn to the beginning chain. Then continue crocheting as instructed. Everyone can now complete it. This concludes the explanation of motifs 9 and 16. Next, let's take a look at motifs 10 and 12. These are both extracted from motif 3. Similarly, join the yarn and crochet from right to left. Pay attention to the insertion position at the beginning and end. Some rows do not require crocheting into the beginning chain. In the middle row, there are 2 colors. You can switch colors using the method demonstrated earlier. The remaining motif, 11 to 17, all start with the foundation chain. Join the yarn and crochet from right to left while switching colors. Here, I will demonstrate the crocheting technique, using motif 14 as an example. First, make the corresponding number of foundation chains. Then work the first row. Start with 3 beginning chains. Next, on the 6th chain from the hook, work 1 DC3 in 1 double crochet, with 3 stitches in 1. Work 1 chain. Leave a space of 3 stitches below. Continue with 1 DC3 in 1. Work 1 chain. Repeat this process to continue crocheting downward. After completing the last chain, skip 3 stitches and work 1 double crochet. Then, at the current insertion point, work 1 double crochet decrease together with the left chain. Break the yarn. The first row is now complete. We will use the side with the clearer texture as the right side. Continue by joining the yarn at the beginning chain. Crochet the 2nd row. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. Work 1 double crochet in the same position. Work 1 chain. Then, work 3 double crochets into the chain space. Continue following the chart for the rest of the row. After completion, fasten off the yarn. The second row is now complete. For the remaining rows, continue joining the yarn and crocheting using this method. Everyone, refer to the pattern chart. Follow the previous demonstration. Complete the corresponding motifs. Up to this point, the explanation of the motifs is finished. Next, we will learn how to sew them together. First, refer to the joining diagram. Arrange the motifs according to the color scheme. If you have stitch markers, you can use them to secure the placement. Use a consistent color for sewing. You can sew from the bottom upward. You will encounter two situations. One is sewing stitch to stitch. The other is sewing the side edge to stitches. The starting chain to stitch refers to motifs 1 through 4. And the cutout motifs. Sewing at the edge positions. The 3 chains at each corner correspond accordingly. The side positions also match up one by one. Pick the top half loop, and use a whip stitch to sew. If you encounter a chain in the middle, pick the top half loop of the chain and sew it correspondingly. When you encounter a cutout motif, the corner may not have 3 chains. Simply sew from one side to the ending side. In the end, make sure the fabric edges roughly match. Ensure there are no noticeable gaps. When you encounter the starting point of a motif like motif 11, pick the half loop of the chain, and use a whip stitch to sew. The number of chains may not match the stitch count. You can skip every other chain when sewing. Just make sure the fabric pieces lay flat and meet properly. At the seam where 3 fabric pieces meet, be sure to avoid leaving gaps. For the specific sewing method, please refer to the demonstration in the video below. Here, I'll demonstrate using a small sample. Start by sewing the horizontal sections. Pick up the sewing yarn first. Take an appropriate length for sewing. Cut the yarn 2-3 times longer than needed. Pay attention to the position and don't place it wrong. Use the whip stitch method for sewing. Align the corresponding motifs with their wrong sides together. Ensure the right sides are both facing outward. Let's start by connecting this corresponding edge. Tie a knot and weave in the yarn on the backside edge. Locate the chain position of the small flower motif. Pick up the half loop at the highest point of the middle chain. Insert the hook and sew with a whip stitch. You can sew one more time to secure it. Continue picking up the half loop on the left side chain for sewing. When you reach the stitch position, pick up the back half loop of the stitch. That is, the 2 threads closer to the stitch. Match and sew them together. Here you can insert the needle from below the thread. This way, the yarn won't curl up. The half loop at the slip stitch position may not be very noticeable. Be mindful not to skip it. When you reach the chain position, sew up to the middle chain position. After finishing sewing, take out another pair of motifs. Pay attention to the color scheme placement, and continue sewing. You can slightly tighten at the seam position. At the end, sew up to the middle chain position as well. Go to the wrong side. Tie off and weave in the ends neatly. This completes the sewing of the horizontal section. Next, let's sew the vertical part. Use the same method as before to sew at the connecting positions. When you reach the point where 4 motifs meet, sew by matching the middle chains as usual. If a large gap appears here, you can add a few more stitches. Just make sure there are no gaps left. Continue sewing. Below, I'll demonstrate the side edge sewing using a sample swatch. Match the positions with their wrong sides facing each other. Take the yarn in the same way as for regular stitch sewing, after tying a knot on the wrong side, and weaving in the ends. Pick up the side edge, and sew by matching the stitch positions. Continue sewing by picking up these half stitches in the stitch positions. Mindfully adjust the position while sewing. Ensure that the edges of the fabric pieces correspond correctly. There are no specific requirements for the insertion points on the sides. Just make sure it is secured properly. Finally, tie off and weave in the ends. Everyone can follow this method, according to your own preference, to sew all the motifs together based on the layout diagram. That concludes the explanation of sewing. Next, we will learn how to work the left and right shoulders, that is, on the sewn motifs, at the position of the back piece. Crochet the corresponding shoulder from right to left. After completing it, sew the shoulder part. The left and right shoulders refer to the left and right sides when the garment is being worn. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Here, I will use a swatch for the demonstration. Start with the right shoulder. Join the yarn on the last row of motif 15, using a standing stitch. Then, refer to the chart and crochet accordingly. After completing the last slip stitch, work 1 double crochet into the edge double crochet below. If the position isn't clear after sewing, you can pick an approximate spot to crochet. In the same position and on the left side's half double crochet edge, work 1 double crochet decrease. Row 1 is now complete. Fasten off the yarn. Continue by joining the yarn to crochet row 2 on the right side. Fasten off at the end as well. Everyone can now finish this part. For the left shoulder, join the yarn on the edge of motif 16, and refer to the chart. Then, follow the pattern to crochet. Everyone can now finish this part. Finally, you need to sew the left and right shoulders of the back piece to motifs 14 and 17 on the front piece, matching them up and sewing them together respectively. The stitch count here matches perfectly. One stitch corresponds to another stitch. Pick up the top half loop, and use a whip stitch to sew them together. At the beginning chain position, pick just one strand of the top chain for sewing. Everyone can now finish this step. That concludes the explanation for both shoulders. Lastly, we will crochet the edging. The edging is divided into cuff edging and overall edging. The cuff edging is crocheted in rounds around the armhole. The overall edging is crocheted around the neckline, front band, and hem edges in rounds. For the beginning of rounds 3 and 5, crochet clockwise. All other rounds are crocheted counterclockwise. The new stitch techniques used include half double crochet decrease, half double crochet 3 stitches together, a modified reverse single crochet, and single crochet increase, and single crochet 3 stitches in 1 stitch. Below, I will demonstrate the crocheting technique, using the cuff edging as an example. For this sample swatch, we'll use the right cuff as an example. Let me demonstrate. Find the motif under the arm. Mind that the right side is facing you. Refer to the chart to locate the joining position. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 3. Skip 3 stitches below. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 3. Work 1 single crochet in the chain 3 space at the corner. Work 1 single crochet at the sewing position. Work 1 single crochet on the left side of the double crochet row. Chain 3. Work 1 single crochet at approximately this insertion point. Chain 3. Work 1 single crochet every other row. Chain 3. Continue to refer to the chart and correspondingly make single crochets. Use 3 chains as a transition. The insertion point here can be checked by referring to the chart. It can also be adjusted based on the actual situation. Pay attention to the number of chain spaces. Try to keep it consistent with the diagram. Work the single crochet at the shoulder position into the seam. Continue crocheting while following the pattern. At the underarm corner, note that it is 3 continuous single crochets. Finish with a slip stitch. The first round is now complete. Continue to crochet the second round. Start with 2 chains as beginning chains. Correspond to the single crochets below. Work 3 half double crochets into the chain space. Work 3 half double crochets in the next chain space. On the single crochet, correspondingly make 1 HDC 3 in 1. First, work 1 incomplete half double crochet for each. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. The HDC 3 in 1 is now complete. Work 3 half double crochets into the left chain space. Continue to work 3 half double crochets in the next chain space below. Crochet 1 half double crochet into the stitch. Work 3 half double crochets into the chain space. Follow the technique for these 7 half double crochets from here on. Correspondingly crochet according to the pattern. Pay attention, there is 1 single crochet that is left unworked between each group. Refer to the chart and finish this round. At the underarm corner, mindfully correspond and crochet the half double crochet, 3 stitches together. Continue crocheting. Then finish with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. The second round is complete. Now move on to the third round. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn your work. Crochet this round on the wrong side. Begin by working 1 single crochet into the turning chain. Then pick up each stitch and work single crochets correspondingly. Note that on the wrong side, the stitches are located at the top left. The last stitch may pucker a little. Be mindful not to skip it. Finish with a slip stitch. The third round is complete. Continue to the fourth round. Start with 2 chains as your beginning chain. Turn your work. Pick up the stitches and work 7 half double crochets correspondingly. The turning chain corresponding to the joined single crochet. Pick up stitches from the left and continue crocheting. Then work 1 half double crochet decrease. First, work 2 incomplete half double crochets correspondingly. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook once. The half double crochet decrease is now complete. Continue with 8 half double crochets, then work 1 half double crochet decrease. The specific decrease positions can also be adjusted according to the actual situation. Ensure that the fabric looks smooth and attractive after completion. Avoid any wrinkles or overly tight areas. Continue to finish this round. Finish with a slip stitch to conclude. The fourth round is now complete. Lastly, work the fifth round. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. For this round, crochet modified reverse single crochets from right to left. First, insert the hook into the stitch on the right side. Draw the yarn through. At the same time, pull through the loop on the hook. You will see 1 strand of yarn at the corner on the left. Insert the hook into this strand. Work 1 single crochet. 1 modified reverse single crochet is now complete. From now on, we will refer to it as the reverse single crochet. Next, insert the hook into the stitch on the right side. Draw the yarn through the loop. On the left, there are 2 strands of yarn like this. Insert the hook. Crochet 1 single crochet. Continue crocheting according to the technique used for the second stitch. Starting here, make sure the loops are not too loose. Continue with this method to complete the entire round. You can adjust the insertion position here. Just make sure the edge is smooth and looks nice. Work the last stitch in the slip stitch join spot from the previous round. The sample has omitted some positions here for simplicity. After everything is done, stretch the loop and fasten off the yarn. Leave a 10 cm tail end before cutting the yarn. Thread the needle with the yarn tail. Sew a few stitches from the starting position. This will ensure a neat and attractive connection. Weave in the ends to hide them. That concludes the explanation for the 5th round. The edging for the cuffs has also been explained. Next, I will explain how to crochet the overall border. Refer to the chart and join yarn at the corresponding position on the hem to start crocheting. The technique for the overall edging is similar to that of the cuff edging, specifically, in the 2nd round. At the corners on both sides of the hem, and at the collar corners, you need to increase stitches. Crochet entirely in the chain spaces at the back neck position. Do not crochet directly into the stitches. In the 3rd round, leave buttonholes on the side of the right front band. This means crocheting 3 chains. Skip 3 stitches below. At the increase positions from the previous round, you also need to add stitches. For the neckline, use single crochet increases to add stitches. For the hem, use 3 single crochets in 1 stitch to increase. Crochet half double crochets for the 4th round. Decrease according to the pattern. For areas like the front band and the hem that are straight, no decreases are needed. At the corners, you need to add stitches. There is one thing to note. If you follow the increase and decrease method in the chart here, the fabric may not lie flat after completing it. You can adjust the number of increases and decreases based on the actual situation. For example, at the corner of the hem, after crocheting 3 half double crochets into 1 stitch in the 2nd round, if the fabric is still not flat, you can work 1 more stitch in the adjacent chain space. If it's still not flat after increasing stitches in the next 2 rounds, you can also skip 1 stitch. Then work 1 single crochet with 3 stitches in 1 stitch. In the 4th round, you can also add 1 more half double crochet increase. If there are wrinkles after completing the crocheting, you can reduce the number of stitches appropriately. Everyone should adjust according to their own crochet tension and the actual situation. Refer to the previous demonstration and follow the chart to complete the edging for the entire piece. For the single crochet increase and the 3 single crochets in 1 stitch techniques, please refer to the video demonstration below. Single crochet increase means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. One single crochet increase is completed. You can see that 2 single crochets are worked into the same stitch. This is the method for a single crochet increase. 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, which means crocheting 3 single crochets in the same place. The 3 single crochets in 1 stitch are now completed. You can see, 3 single crochets are worked into the same stitch. This is the technique for 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. That concludes the explanation of how to crochet the edging. Finally, secure the buttons. There are 3 buttons in total. Attach them to the left front band of the fully edged piece. Make sure they correspond to the buttonhole positions on the right front band. Use the yarn from the edging to sew it together. Pay attention to keeping the buttonhole orientations consistent. Everyone can now finish sewing it together. Up to this point, the entire vest has been explained in full. If you have any unclear points while crocheting, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience. Enjoy the joy of life. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you in the next episode.